Recording right now?
Yeah. It's blurry. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. Awesome.
Wow. You took me a 3, 2, 1, and like none of that.
Hi everyone. Welcome to the channel. I'm Miss Preppy Pearl, and if you are new here, please subscribe. But today I'm continuing on with my Health Informatics series. And I have a special guest with me. He's a dear friend of mine, but also he just recently graduated with his master's in Health Informatics. So I wanted to give you guys like a different perspective of the career paths that you can take with this degree. And so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and hop right into it. So we are back. Like I said, I have a dear friend of mine. We've known each other for quite some time, but I'm gonna let him introduce himself. So go ahead.
Hey everyone, my name is Michael. I'm in Health Informatics, and the reason why I chose to go into Health Informatics is because I wanted to go into like the data part of public health. So I recently graduated with my master's in Health Informatics from the Morehouse School of Medicine. Yeah.
Okay, he's a Morehouse man. Y'all know how they. But okay, so you mentioned how like you went into like you wanted to get into like your master's in Health Informatics, but what actually motivated you to like pivot into that? What was your background again?
So public health.
Okay, so you got your first degree in public health. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So what made you want to switch from public health to now Health Informatics?
Yeah, so like when I think of Health Informatics, I think of like the intersection between public health and technology.
Okay.
And growing up, like I always loved like technology and just like looking at data, crunching numbers, etc.
Okay.
So I figured like pursuing that master's in Health Informatics would help me like break into that, career goal. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you find like any similarities between like public health and Health Informatics, or do you find that maybe Health Informatics helps you more so understand like public health?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So like with my career within like government consulting, yeah, so a lot of the work that we do is like directly related to public health. Okay. So we're like literally doing the statistical side, data analysis side to like public health diseases, like infectious diseases. So like I'm very glad I took the journey that I went on instead of just like, maybe doing computer science or no slight to computer science, love computer science, but yeah, like having that background in public health kind of brings things full circle and helps me understand like what I'm doing, the why, and like, there's like some background behind it. So
okay, so like he just mentioned, he has a bachelor's in public health, and that's something I keep trying to communicate to you guys, that it's not like you have to have like a bachelor's in Health Informatics. You can come from any sector. So Michael came from public health, I came from neuroscience, and I know other Health Informatics professionals who came from like different backgrounds. So this is again just to tell you guys that if you have the passion for Health Informatics, you can pivot from any background that you come. I guess you mentioned it a little early, but I want them to like hear it again. So what do you actually do in Health Informatics?
Yeah, so right now I'm doing data engineering.
Okay.
So managing pipelines, quality assurance, things of that nature when it comes to, data.
Okay.
And infectious diseases, particularly like immunization and respiratory diseases.
Okay. So what's like your actual title? Are you like a consultant, or what is that?
Yeah, so on my job side, like my business side, I'm a senior consultant.
Okay.
But like for the companies that we work with, I'm considered to be just a data engineer. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So again, you guys, consulting. He went the consulting route, I went the process improvement route. But again, these are things that you can do with a Health Informatics, a master's in Health Informatics. And so with that, I wanted to like, continue on. I know you guys asked this question a lot, and you've heard my opinion on this, but was getting into Health Informatics difficult for you? So like my viewers, they've asked questions, they're like, it's difficult, or is it? And I'm like, it wasn't difficult to me, but I also feel like, going to like the Ivy League of the South, I don't really think anything is difficult, but for you, like, what do you think, was it hard to like get into?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I had to do some resume building.
Okay.
So I definitely had to kind of like emphasize like the data part of like the public health work that I was doing. Okay. So like Excel, anything I did on Excel, SPSS, like anything throughout my public health journey that involve technology, data.
Okay.
I try to emphasize that like as much as possible. So that really kind of helped me. So maybe like doing some resume building, or just like really doing some like reflecting on the things that you've done that involve technology. Because like to your point, like once you're in a field, it kind of seems like you're pigeonholed.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like you can't really move around. But like you kind of have to do your best to kind of like show that, you know, you're kind of multidimensional. You can navigate in a different space that's not, you know, the one that you were in. So
okay, so are you saying that you had to like build your resume prior to you applying to your master's, or was this after you were already in your master's?
Yeah, I say prior.
Okay, prior. Okay. So you guys, when you're applying to a master's in health informatics, at least for me, coming from Mercer, just like Michael mentioned, we do have like a resume that they look at, and this resume can be filled with, again, what a resume is always filled with, the type of things that you've done, courses, certifications, publications if you have that. But just like Michael just mentioned, if you want to have a strong resume, strong application, really highlight the projects or the things that you've done that are specific to health informatics, because that's how they're going to gauge whether or not you are fit for the program. So you mentioned Excel. So I mentioned Excel to you guys too, but what other types of like, you're a data engineer, so what other like coding languages or other type of applications do you think is important to have maybe prior to you getting a master's in health informatics, or just or even just like, maybe not prior, that's too much, because I but like something that you might need to be aware of. Yeah, what programs or skills?
Yeah, I definitely think just having one coding language behind your name that you've like worked on throughout your college career.
Okay, so specific to like you're in consulting, so what programming language, if like you know, viewers out there, if you're interested in consulting, what language or what software would you say?
I definitely tell everyone I know, Python.
Okay, yeah, I've told y'all.
Python, yes, like in 2025, Python is like the language to know. Yeah. Like
everyone uses it.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
Literally
yeah.
Like even when you're looking at data, you're like, oh, okay, we have to
we have
to extract data.
Yep.
When it comes to health informatics, you might hear about this when you're in a course like HL7, all of those different things. They use Python script in order to get that information. So
yeah, it's like you can't like run away from it. Like you can try your best, but they're gonna want to like see Python. Like So I think Python's very important, and just having like a diverse skill set. Because you know the job market nowadays is a little bit more tough than like what it was like previously. You know, so having that diverse skill set will kind of save you. But having Python is like, I feel like that's like base level. Like you know, you're trying to enter the field. Like that's what you need.
So did you have Python prior to you getting your master's, or did you learn everything during your master's?
I learned it during and after.
Okay, cool. I was the same way, you guys. Like I learned Python at Tech. So Python is kind of like the baby of Python. They don't really consider it a language, but I knew because of like the details, that's how I was able to understand Python a little bit. But I also learned Python a lot during my master's. So that's interesting. How did you navigate that? Because I know how I navigated Python a little bit, but how did you learn it?
Yeah.
Because I know it could be tough.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. I think using your resources. The one thing I like that we experience is that like as we progress throughout time, there's more and more resources that are accessible to us.
That's true.
So like you have YouTube, you have W3.
I tell y'all, YouTube University.
Yeah, man, it's a real thing. Like you have so many books out there, mentors. Like there's so much that you can pull from to like gain the skill set that you need. So like,
and it doesn't cost money. That's the thing I want y'all to understand, and something I keep like voicing to you guys. You don't have to spend so much money on the onset to learn these things. There's so many resources. He said YouTube. YouTube University is your friend. Like, yeah, okay. So what else?
And also like LLMs, like you know, you have ChatGPT, Claude, like they will literally create a whole entire schedule for you to learn. Like let's say if you have to learn Python within like 8 weeks. They can literally create you a framework that will like tell you what to focus on within those 8 weeks to become, you know, like zero to a hero in Python. So
and so when I guess for me, when I was learning Python too, what helped was working on projects. So a lot of this stuff in Python, you guys are going to realize, and it's not just Python, it's like any coding language in general. You have to constantly be like applying it and constantly using it, or you will forget it. Like me, it's been a minute since I've had to use some coding languages and I'm already forgetting things, but you have to continue using it. So what would you say to like people who are, you know, again, interested in consulting? What would you say to keep them up to date with these skills, because, you know, it's changing and whatnot?
That's a really, really good question.
Like, what do you do? Or you just stick with the project and when they use it?
Yeah, I feel like my approach is like I literally try to learn everything. I know that's kind of bad because, you know, they say you should probably like master one thing, but I feel like in consulting, like you kind of have to adapt to whatever your client wants. And that may be, you know, you having to use like a different coding language or a different platform or software. So I try to literally like spread my wings and kind of like literally try to dive into everything as much as I can. And one thing that I noticed, like there's overlap between certain programming languages. So like once you master one, you know what I'm saying? Like it'll help you kind of.
I agree. So I feel like this is important to note because I mentioned in one of my previous videos of how I was explaining like the different programming languages and how I said that me personally, I just know a few things from each language. I'm not a master at one language. So it's really nice to hear you say that, because I think that when I hear consulting, I feel like, oh, you guys have to be really like specific to one thing, but it seems like you guys have to be adaptable to whatever the client wants. So you could be doing Python today and then the next day you're doing SQL or something. Okay, cool. So you guys, you hear that? You don't have to be the expert. Like, calm down. It's not that difficult. So I guess like when going back to like you getting your master's and everything, one thing that people always mention to me or ask me is like, how did you like pay for it? How did you do it? So you guys already know I pay for it out of my own pocket. So,
big money.
No, not big money. Do not do that. It was not smart. Get your employer or someone else to pay for it. But what did you do? Like, what would you suggest people who are trying to get a master's to do, especially now that inflation and all this other stuff? Like, how do you pay for that?
If I can go back in time, I would have done a lot more scholarships. And I would have tried to get like a lot more guidance when it comes to like, you know, lowering the amount of loans you have to take out. Because I didn't pay out of pocket. I did do loans, but I guess my thought process was that like I'll land a job and I'll be able to pay for it like over the course of like some years. Which I guess like, you know, a lot of people take that approach, but if you can like lessen the amount you have to pay at the end, definitely, you know, you should definitely try to do that. Like,
because that interest,
man,
that was me. I was just like, listen, we have to pay for it somewhere.
Actually, since I graduated in December, I got hit with my first like student loan payment a couple months ago. I almost dropped to my knees. It's so expensive. If you could literally do scholarships like before you like enter into your program, like do it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Scholarships. One thing I'll say about the scholarships piece is that there are so many different websites and like government organizations that give out money. But what I always tell you guys is that you have to do the work to search for them. And that's something for me. I'm the type of person, I like to search. Like I'm a research scientist by trade anyway. So I like to research everything. So for you guys who are looking at a specific university, maybe it's not Morehouse or Mercer, maybe it's another university, look at their website. They have a lot of things catered to people who want to have scholarships, but also look outside of that. There's a lot of like nonprofit and even for-profit organizations that maybe you might have to work with them for a year, but they'll pay for all of your schooling and funding. So just keep that in mind in general. Going back, I guess, to, you know, your master's in health informatics, I've discussed with them like some of the classes that I took. Can you like share some of the classes or the ones that you think were like, you were like, oh, I really love this course in health informatics, and then maybe what they can expect if they decide to go to Morehouse for master's?
I think our program was more like clinical decision support type thing. So like, and it was a lot of like ethics based, like value based type of like projects. So I think that's what my curriculum mainly consisted of, and I think that really kind of helps me gain a full understanding of like how to interact with like technology and make sure like people's best interests are at play
and like the clinical workflow.
Because that's a very, very big topic, especially with the introduction of AI. Like, you know, being ethical about you know, just what you're doing day to day in your workflow. So
so that differs, like I mentioned to you guys again, depending on the university you go to, it also kind of shapes what type of courses. So at Mercer, they focus a lot more on like the project management side. Again, those are a lot of the classes that I took. Also like the process improvement side of health informatics. And then also, like you mentioned, like the clinical decision making, but not as in-depth as it sounds that you're. So again, there's a lot of research happening. You have to look at what do I really want to gain out of this master's in health informatics. Please don't just go get a master's just because you want the name or the title.
Right.
Or no. Please be strategic, especially now more than ever, you guys.
Yep.
Please be strategic. So I guess during your time when you were doing like your master's and everything, how did you, I guess, network in a sense? Like, how did you even get the job that you currently have? Because I know we've talked offline before, and you've mentioned how you got it while you were doing your master's.
Yeah.
So how did that happen? Because a lot of them are asking, they want a job immediately after, which is real.
Yeah.
Like, we want a job. So how did you do it?
So a friend of mine, his dad put me onto an internship with the company that he works for.
Okay.
So you're probably making that face because internship. Oh my! Like they're so like essential. Like they're necessary. They're essential to like your development.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's so many opportunities that arise out of like doing an internship, completing an internship to the best of your ability. Like, so, and that's the easiest way to get your foot in the door, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like doing an internship as
I
opposed
agree.
to like, applying like to a career job outside of your master's. So
I agree. And to add on to that, you saw how he mentioned it was his friend's dad. That's the networking piece that you guys, I always mention to you. Right now in today's job market, it's literally who you know. I've said this before, but it kind of is who you know, and what will keep you there is your skills. So don't just wing it like, oh, I can just get into this organization, I don't have to work hard. No. What's keeping Michael at his job is because he's actually skillful in what he's doing. The same thing with me, like I'm skillful in what I'm doing. So when I tell you guys to go out and network, especially when you're doing your master's or just in general, because I still network now, go out and try to engage with people, and don't always see it as a how do I describe it? An opportunity that I need to get something. Sometimes it's just about developing a connection. So you were able to have a friend who got you into, so you start off as an internship and then you got your full-time role, so they offered it. So that's great. So what would you say though, if internships are not available, do you have any other recommendations of what else a person should do while they're doing their master's in health informatics, or just in general? Yeah,
I definitely say career fairs are great. Getting your face card out there, and LinkedIn. Like I see a lot of people now who kind of post the projects that they're doing on LinkedIn.
Okay, I've seen that too, actually.
Yeah, any like certifications or anything like they'll post that. And at first I was very kind of opposed to that because I'm kind of like I'm just gonna relax. Like, I don't have to like put everything out there, but it's really good that people do that because people notice like what you post.
Oh yeah,
like, they'll see like, okay, he has that skill set. She has that skill set. We can use that at our organization. So I think posting on LinkedIn, like utilizing the internet to like share what you're doing, is really good for you. Advantageous. So.
Yeah, I agree with that too, because I guess when I was in the job market and really searching, like I would post things and then I'll have people mention it. I'm like, you actually look at my my LinkedIn, and I'm like, oh wow. So this is just again to highlight to you guys, keep your LinkedIn up to date. Don't follow my LinkedIn right now is not up to date. So I bet some of y'all have tried to go and look at my LinkedIn. I'm like, oh, it's not up to date. Don't be like me. Be like Michael. Have your LinkedIn up to date. Post the things that you're doing, the projects that you're doing in health informatics. And so yeah, we're talking about networking, right? So. Yeah, with networking, I feel like I have to just re-emphasize this over and over again to you guys, because when it comes to my journey in health informatics, I'm not able to be in this field without the power of networking, and just because I had a connection. So Michael just mentioned to me like his connection and like networking. So I want him to like kind of expound upon it, and then I'll also like chime in with my story of how I was able to get the current job that I have. But yeah, Michael, how did you mentioned like networking and like connection. So what was it about it? Like, why is that just so important to you when it comes to like, maybe not just even health informatics, but just in general, like this is just important in general, whatever field you go into.
Yeah, like just like on a life like spectrum. So the opportunity that I got was from a friend's father, but this friend is somebody who I've known since middle school. And I looked at him like his dad is like, a second father figure to me. So pretty much like his dad came by, I came by their house, and he pretty much asked me like, what am I doing? Like, what's my next step with career, etc. And I told him, I'm trying to get into the informatics field. And from that, he was like, oh, you need to let people know what you're doing, because we have an opportunity for an intern to come in during the summer and, send me your resume, and then we can see like what we can do. I can see what I can do for you. And then, you know, a few months later, interviewed for it, got the interview, you know, got the job. And then from there, you know, I kept on building it. Now I'm at where I'm at with my career. So
yeah. So you got y'all hear how he mentioned again, it was the connection piece. You do not go into networking saying I need to get something. Like, yes, the end goal is we want to get something out of it, but there has to be a connection. And then he also mentioned another point. He was like, you have to let people know what you're doing. So I'll be the bad guy here. I did not do that. And honestly, it really did derail how quickly I was able to get a job in this job market. You have to let people know that you are looking. So sometimes you'll see those like LinkedIn posts that, I graduated, but I'm looking for a role or something. Right. Do not be ashamed by that. Listen, you want to eat, right? Okay. Post what you need to post so that the right people can see what you're doing. So if Michael had not mentioned to his friend's father that, oh, I'm doing XYZ, he might not have gotten that opportunity. And likewise, same with me too, just to share like my journey again. How I was able to get the current role that I got is that the organization I work with, they had a talent like acquisition fair type of thing that I was personally invited to. How I got invited, I can't really tell you, but it might have been because of all the other networking that I was doing throughout like my time looking for a job. And so I went. I wasn't really that ecstatic because, you know, the job market is tough. Like, you've been applying and nothing's working, but I decided I would go. I went and I connected really well with one of like the talent recruiters there. And after that whole like talent fair, and by the end of the year, I still didn't hear anything. Come January, which is this year, she messaged me on LinkedIn and she was like, there's this opportunity. And she was like, I want you to apply for it because I think you'll be perfect for it. Literally that day she mentioned it, I applied, and that's why I'm here. I am now. Like, that's what I try to tell people. Like, it's literally about networking. It's about the connections you make. And it wasn't like I came into that place that, oh, I need to get a job. It was just more so, oh, let's just connect. Let's just see who it is. So it sounds similar to you. You had a connection, like family, more family, but it's still the same thing. Like, you're not out here trying to get things from people. Like, they just genuinely like who you are, and your character will speak for itself. So, you know, but say we've mentioned it before, but let's mention it again. If you don't have that connection.
Yeah, I say cast your net wide. Like, in this job market, you hear so many people who apply to hundreds of jobs and they've been waiting for like so many months. And I feel like that's kind of like depressing because, like, you know, we were told like once you get your higher education degrees, you're cemented. Like, you'll find a job and you'll be okay. And it just seems like the period for like, you know, you graduating and finding that job is just becoming longer and longer as time goes on. I think
the average time now for any graduate to actually be able to get a job after they graduate with their degree is around like 10 months now. Last year it was 8 months, but now it's 10.
It's extending, like, literally, like, as time goes on.
And if you're not like me, because, you know, thankfully, like, I have my parents' support and I wasn't paying like any exorbitant type of bills. And I had a lot of savings. So I was able to survive for the period that a year or so but a lot of people don't have that. So that's, again, just to tell you why you're doing this degree. And honestly, this is for anyone. You're not even doing your master's, even in undergrad. Start applying for jobs in your like junior year, like beginning of junior year.
Like internships and jobs.
Like start doing that now, because there's no guarantee now with you being able to get a job. Again, we you know, Michael was lucky, you know, bless him, but again, it was like he still did a lot of work to get to that point. It's not as easy as it was before. So that's great. I love that for you.
It's really kind of disheartening, like, just seeing so many posts like on LinkedIn and like just talking to so many people who are like searching for the roles. Like, it's, you know, becoming like worse and worse. But I definitely say, like, try to cast your net wide on social media, you know, LinkedIn, in person as well. And even like when you do land your role, still continue to network, because like everything
we need to talk about that. No,
literally, that's the topic. Like, because, you know, with government consulting, like, this has been a rough period for us.
All the cuts and
and like, you know, that kind of directly impacts like the work we're doing, because like if they don't have money, then we're not getting money. So like continuing to like sustain relationships, and I'm not saying just, you know, for the purpose of like trying to keep a job.
Yeah.
Just like nurturing relationships in your
Yeah.
career, like reaching out to people who, you know, work in different organizations, just like, you know, hey, I hope everything's going well, that type of thing. You know, just making people remember you.
Yeah.
It's very important as well, because like nothing is cemented, you know, layoffs do happen, cuts happen, rifts happen, so. Yeah.
Even with the organization I work with now, they are also, they're going through their cuts. It's 4%, which doesn't seem big in the grand scheme of things, but they're cutting 4%. And so it's a bit scary, but Michael mentioned something, and I think it's really important, is that when you land your role, you need to actually continue networking. So me, because again, I was like, I'm never gonna get burned again. I was like, I made it my thing to network with people, not because they have like a title or this or that, just to network in general. But also another thing that I do is that when it comes to like the talent recruiter who recruited me and other people in the organization, I make it a thing like every couple of months, or not even months, really like weeks, to like reach out to them and just be like, hey, I hope you're doing well. That way, it's not like I'm asking for anything. It's just me checking up, and people love that. People love themselves, so they want to be like, oh my gosh, she cares about me, and it's like, yeah. And again, involve yourself in the things of the organization. This is something I failed to do with my first role. I did not like go out to those social. I didn't do any of the social stuff, even though my job was fully remote at the time, but I didn't do any of like the outside social things. I was like, I did my job. I'm going home. I'm clocking out.
That stuff matters. Yeah.
And when I tell you the real politics happens outside of your work.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Network with people. If they invite you, you don't have to go to everything. Like create a boundary, because then if everyone sees you all the time, it's like, oh, this person works. Yeah, but maybe every couple of weeks, if they invite you somewhere or to do something, it would be your best interest
to show face.
Show face. Like this whole thing, it sucks, but this is just the world we live in. And yeah, just connect. Do you experience that too? That you have to
absolutely. To that point, like my job is technically fully remote.
Okay,
and
nice.
we can choose to go in office, and I still go in the office like 1 or 2 times a week.
Okay.
Just to interact with like our leadership.
Yeah.
You know, people who have like different roles like outside of mine, etc. So it's just good to like let people remember you, like you know what I'm saying, and like leave a good lasting impression. Yeah. Just so they can kind of consider you for like different things, even if it's not necessarily like role related, but like, you know, in the future they probably consider you for opportunities, like gifts and stuff. Like honestly, and also another thing you need to do is try to remember people's birthdays. Again, people love that was hard, but yeah, it's good though.
People love, like, they love themselves. So me, I'm gonna share y'all my secret. Not that I do this to everyone, so don't think I do this to you. But as soon as someone tells me their birthday, I go into my calendar and I set up
so that's how you can remember. Okay.
No, not you. I remember your
okay.
But I'm just saying, for those of you who are like, oh my gosh, how can I keep up with all these birthdays? Auto send message.
I gotta use that. Yeah. That's good.
And people love it. So hopefully no one I've done that to is watching it.
That's good though.
Yeah, so it's stuff like that. And honestly, I don't even consider that fake, because if I took my time out to go into my calendar and I care about you in some capacity or form.
Yep.
So just saying.
Right.
What other tricks do you do? Do you have any tricks up your sleeve?
No, I'm gonna adopt that.
Yeah. There you go. Free advice.
Technology. Okay.
Yeah, it's technology. Yeah. You're in health informatics, y'all. Use it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else, Michael, that you want to share with everyone regarding like your health informatics journey, what you're doing now, that you think, yeah, this is something you guys need to leave, like a lasting statement?
Yeah, I kind of spoke on a little bit with like diversifying your skill set, and I think that's like one of the main points I'm trying to like drive home to like everybody I come into contact with who's looking like to gain a career within the healthcare space or technology space, etc. Like, make sure you know you're trying to expand your skill set, because you never know, like that thing that you learned a few months back when you thought like wouldn't be of any use.
Yeah.
Somebody could probably somebody could probably want that skill from you. So yeah, keep on like trying to expand your skill set.
Yeah, and again, just to expand on what he said, he mentioned expanding your skill set, but what this is calling you to do is that continue to learn. Health informatics is such a ever evolving and quick field because you're involving healthcare and technology. The healthcare world is already like so busy and fast paced, so you invite the technology piece. Be in the habit of learning. I do not think this is the field where you can be like, okay, I've learned this, I'm done.
You can't afford to. No.
You're gonna be left behind. This is the field that if you are the type of person that you're not actually naturally inquisitive or curious or self-motivated, this might not be the field for you. And I'm being honest with that. So yeah, listen to Michael. As you can see, he's successful. Like, hello, like.
And
please.
also, like, if you're coming into an internship, one thing that I've learned is that the leaderships for people who like run these internships, they look for people who ask good questions. I've noticed that, like, the first thing like they'll say, because like we have summer interns every year, they'll be like, oh, they ask great questions. Like, that's what like really like kind of makes someone like bring you on board. So yeah, that's
ask questions, be inquisitive,
Yep.
do what you gotta do. Yeah, so you guys, that is it from me and Michael. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys are enjoying this series about health informatics. Again, as always, I'm here to answer your questions and help people in this field because I feel like health informatics, there wasn't a lot of guidance for us. Like, there was not, we just didn't, we were wigging it basically.
Yeah.
And so we want to be kind of like that voice of, this is what you can do, this is what we did. And of course, not everything's gonna align exactly how because we are our own individual people, but please understand that this field is still relatively new, even though it was in the 2010s it started, but still it's relatively new. And so any way that we can continue to like help and share anything, our experiences, let us know in the comments. Please leave a comment if you have a question, and also please like, subscribe. Y'all know the deal. Like,
and please, you know, you can reach out to me at Michael Matheson, my LinkedIn.
Okay.
I love speaking to people about this, so like, please don't hesitate to reach out to me.
I'm putting y'all on, y'all. Y'all have to pay for this.
Right,
like,
free.
come on,
Free
man,
charge.
it's free. So yeah, I'll also drop his LinkedIn in my description so you guys can connect with him as well. So, as I said, I'll see you guys later. Bye.